One of the things that is blocking this connection to your wholeness, this feeling of love for addicts, is the feeling of shame and guilt.
Yeah, shame is huge, but if you look at what shame is, when you say to somebody, you should be ashamed of yourself. Now look what we're saying. We're saying you should be ashamed of yourself. Nobody should be ashamed of their selves. It's healthy shame is, it was like Bill W. who founded AA. He said a certain degree of reasonable guilt is okay, It is. If I've hurt somebody, I should feel some shame or guilt around it.
Or responsibility.
Yeah, but shame is not about that. You can shame a 9-month-old baby who's got no concept of having done anything wrong. You know how you do that? Parent and child are looking into each other's eyes. There's that attuned, joyful, interactive gaze. The endorphins are going in the brain, and the parent looks away, breaks the contact. The child goes into a shame state. What does that look like? It looks like this. The neck goes slack, the eyes are averted, the body slumps. That's shame. Shame has to do with the loss of contact with the nurturing parent. So that the addict was shamed long before they did anything ever wrong. Then they associate the shame with having done something wrong, because when that happens to a child, the child is narcissistic. By narcissistic, I mean in a very true sense, that is for them, it's all about them. So whatever happens is their fault. So when my mother abandoned me at 1 year of age, which she did, gave me to a total stranger in the street to save my life, and I didn't see her for a month, for me that meant that I was not good enough, that I was not accepted, loved, that I was abandoned, that there's something wrong with me. So that the shame predates any wrongdoing or any drug using on the part of the addict. Of course, society says, be ashamed of yourself, reinforcing the shame. And you don't help people by shaming them. You don't help people by shaming. That's not how you help them.
Clinics, in classical 12-step clinics, they're even fueling this identity.
Well, I have sort of a...
Do you know what I mean?
I know
For example,
because in the 12 steps you stand up and you say you haven't touched a drop of alcohol for 30 years, but you stand up and say, my name is Gabor and I'm an
addict.
I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. Well, because you're not an addict. That's not who you are. The addiction is just a behavior that you adopted in order to soothe yourself for pain that you had no responsibility for causing in the first place. In fact, if we didn't use the word addict, if we just made the word addict illegal, and every time somebody said addict, they'd have to say, so-and-so is a human being who suffered so much that they found in that behavior some release from unbearable suffering. What if we had to say that every time? Wouldn't that change the conversation on addiction in this country?